Here's my buddy Lee. He drives a shitty car. Tell me about your car, Lee.
So it's an old Toyota from 1988, and pretty much this only came out for what, 4 years, right? Well, technically it started out in 1984, but it goes up until 1989. This is known as the Mark 1. This car right here was originally a supercharged car. All right, so basically this car I was supposed to buy going back like 3-4 years ago, and pretty much, you know, made an agreement with the buyer. Buyers pretty much wanted to find someone who was going to take care of it and treat it well, and not basically, you know, take it up to Kansas and crash like some other people, like, you know, the guy behind the camera. Anyways, yeah, and then he got cold feet, just didn't want to sell it. And then 3 years later, like, I pretty much saw it pop up on Facebook, and then I still had his number because I never forgot about the car. And I always was just like, you know, from time to time, like, hey, you know, Sam, like, are you still want to sell it? If you have it, like, you know, I still want to buy it, but like no response. So luckily here he messaged me back, and I showed up right away. He'll still sad to see the car go, but he knew it was time because it had been sitting for 3 years not doing anything besides having rats chew up like the wiring. So I picked it up, and it's basically been a project, you know, of like tender love and care, and yeah, and this is where she's at right now. So and the other one's actually started, so nothing fancy, just a used bucket seat off of Facebook Marketplace, you know, just to hold me in. You know, I wanted to like pretty much, you know, add like an aftermarket steering wheel, like a Momo of like Monte Carlo, because that's what everyone who has a Mark 1 does. But you know, I kind of opted where I just want to do pretty much like a resto mod, and basically kind of like make it where, as if, you know, if it was a car being made today, what would it have? And one of them is a little pop-out screen with, you know, rear view camera. But if you check out the interior, I got a battery, tire pressure jump start thingamabob in there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, I'll show you the motor. It's recently had a swap, and well, I didn't do the swap. I bought it that way. Let me show you the motor.
The front.
So the motor is
a helmet.
It's not there. What the heck?
There's no battery tied down.
Did someone steal my motor while I was just parked here? Oh,
that's probably right. My number one annoyance. When people don't have battery tie downs, that's like so annoying. Yeah, I'm getting to it. But anyways, let's go ahead. Why I really wanted to pick this up was basically what's powering it. And ta-da! Yes, looks
it's
like
a second gen 3S GT. Well, supposedly it's a first gen, but what's also the cool thing about it is this is actually barred too. So this is California legal.
My mind is blown now.
Yeah. So anyways, that's pretty much it. Nothing too fancy about it. I'm not sure if it has a E153 trans or an S54, but I'm gonna say it's E153.
It's 5-speed?
It's 5-speed. Okay. But it's like very slow. Like it's like very long gears.
Yeah.
So, and I heard with the S54, it's like very short gearing because it was made it to the 5S. I took it out to the track recently, which you'll probably see in this clip here. Okay, it wasn't too bad, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I've just been working on it very slowly.
What are your future plans for this car?
Future plans, taking care of suspension, because there is a lot of like body roll and bounce. You know, I'm not too much a suspension guy. I just drive more than anything, so I'm not an expert or anything like that. But you know, I feel like with that right there, because these are on KYB GR2s right now. And they're great for daily driving, but not so great when you're, you know, canyon running. There's like a lot of bumps in the way, because especially like during a turn, because you can start to feel the car shift a little bit, and if you're not careful, you could lose control. But yeah, just anything to kind of like, you know, make it a little bit more of a fine-tuned machine. Okay. If this motor goes, I probably will put in a Gen 4 or Gen 5 and just take the rods out of this motor because supposedly it's stronger. And just put in a new one. So that's just about it. Just keeping it simple.
Tell me about this lip, the chin spoiler. Is that aftermarket?
So the lip spoiler, it came with the car when I bought it, and I think if I remember correctly, this is the wood sport lip, and it's held on by some
Baling wire. Okay.
Yeah, I do want to like address the paint job at some point in time, but I was thinking maybe I'll just get the body work done and then just wrap it for now until I can really paint. Because really what I want to do, if I have the space, time, and like obviously funds, is to pretty much, you know, strip everything off the car and just get the whole chassis dipped in acid and then
Man, no, don't do that.
No? Don't do that? Okay, maybe sandblast it or
no.
something?
Why?
No?
Why would you do that?
Why? To take off all the paint, right?
People with cars, okay, you need three things for your cars. You need time, money, and motivation, right? That just sounds like a lot of time and money.
That's true.
Something, a big project like that, people are gonna lose motivation. My car here, it's always been running. I don't do anything too crazy to it. And you know, I've been in the car scene. I think that's how I've been able to stay in the car scene for so long, because my car is very simple and I still enjoy it. It's nothing too crazy.
If you're gonna freaking acid dip this car and restore it to its fullest, that sounds like a 5-year dilemma of just time and money.
That is true, but the thing is, it's like...
It's a running car. Don't do anything to it.
Yeah.
Don't do anything to it.
Yeah.
Let's go down the history of the cars that you've owned.
Do we really need to do this?
Did you lose time, money, and motivation on all of them?
Motivation I didn't lose, but I did lose a lot of money and time. And
Keep it simple.
And the girlfriend in the process.
Keep it simple.
Okay.
Keep it simple.
Okay.
All right, so this guy's gonna take me for a quick drive. Okay, here we go. I can tell you, it vibrates like a 3S. Got the mail truck tailgating us. The mail truck's on our ass.
Oh shit! There's a battle.
Okay.
There's a battle.
Don't kill us. For me, the mountain driving, I feel like I kind of want a softer suspension, just because some of these roads are just very bumpy. You'd be surprised how much faster a stock car is in the mountains compared to like a stiff car, track car.
So this is actually the first time I've actually taken this car out on the canyon.
What's your favorite part about this car?
I think that my favorite part about this car, besides the pop-up headlights, but it's actually not that. I think it's the fact that it's a car that's this old and that can still perform. Maybe not to the extent of like, let's say, you know, like your R35s and like new Porsches and like all these other fancy cars, but like, you know, it's a car that like I feel like, to me, even throughout time, it hasn't really lost its appeal. I mean, maybe for a period in time, it's like, you know, it's not the car like everyone wanted, and maybe like YouTube helped bring that back, but I don't know, to me it's like everything about this car I love, and it's the way it makes me feel. I love driving it. I love that it doesn't have anything safety wise like related, like ABS or whatever, to protect you from, you know, or like to like correct your mistakes like as a driver. It's like, this is like pretty much raw input and gives you raw feedback. There's no power steering on this car, so it's a manual rack, and you can really feel every little bit of the road, and it's like speaking to you. So when I'm driving, I'm part of the machine, and I think that's what makes me like really love this car. Like that's like the one thing that makes me like really love this car. It's just me in the car, and that's it, nothing else.
I would have to agree with you. I like old cars just for the fact that it's very hard to keep them in good condition. A lot of these cars you can't find parts for. Make sure you're turning around in a good spot. Oh yeah, well, that's why we got off-road suspension. But other than that, I mean,
you know, even though mainly I like 8.6s back then, and we would just gut this car for the engine and manual rack. Thinking back, I feel like we should have done a better job preserving these cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's open it up. Woo! Okay. Yeah. All right.
Can you feel that? Like
Yeah,
the
no.
suspension?
Yeah, the suspension's fine. You just have to be used to it. It digs in. Yeah. Okay, very nice. Very quiet. Kind of grinded and kind of shift locked right there, buddy. But yeah. Feels good.
Yeah, third gear kind of grinds a bit. You know, with the 3S GT motor in this car, I really feel like it brought the car to its full potential. Not saying it didn't have potential with the normal 16 valve or the GZE motor, because I've had both.
Yeah.
I just had more experience with the GZE motor, so driving a supercharged car in comparison to, you know, the turbo, I mean, it's a night and day difference. But yeah, pretty much I feel like with this power plant in the car, I feel like it complements it very well.
Yeah, no, it feels like a nice, very linear power band, stock turbo.
Stock turbo.
Yeah, and that's what I like about stock engines. It has a very linear power band. It's not all top end. It has usable power band. People are always chasing these high horsepower numbers, right? People are always chasing these high horsepower numbers, but their car becomes undrivable. Like, you just hit like boost lag, and then you just, yes, you're in the back of your seat, but I mean, mid corner you're flooring it, then all of a sudden you hit boost, then freaking you just spin out because it's really uncontrollable. It's very hard to control.
Just imagine, so people, you know, and this was one of the motor options. So I actually have another MR2 that basically I was debating what motor I should put in for a long time, and I ended up just going with the Gen 5 motor. The other motor that you could put in here is a K20 swap or a K24 or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen
and then
those.
boosting it, and it's just insane. So I pretty much got everything to do a K swap, but in the end, wanting to keep it pure and original, I just kept it with a 3S. And
Yeah.
but that one has an S54 trans, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be a whole different animal because of the shorter gearing. But yeah, in the future I'll probably pick up another one just to do a K swap into it, K swap turbo. But that's like later on down the road. It may not even happen, but you know, it's nice to dream.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know, let's do something different. Let's get Kelvin's impression of the car.
Sure. Okay.
Please be careful.
Always. I'm a careful dude. I do like the pop-up headlights. It gives you kind of like a range of reference.
I love my car.
Yes. I know you love your car. I mean, it feels very light. Right? It feels very light. My car is, the steering's heavy because I have chopped knuckles. But yeah, I do like the light feeling of this car.
The brakes are stock. There's nothing special about those
yeah,
brakes.
that's
So
fine. It's taking me back to my teenage years. Oh yeah, I'm barely even on the gas. I can hear the turbo spooling, and I mean, that's good mid-range, low end, huh? Oh yeah, that's nice and linear. Okay, I'm in second gear. Second gear, 3,000 RPM. I'm just gonna get on it, even though there's a biker here. Oh yeah, that feels good. Okay, we're just gonna floor it in first gear. Oh, the supercharger light comes on. I don't know what that does. Okay, it's very interesting now to see the different generation of, is my signal on? Yeah, it is. The different generation of 3S's. Give me a better understanding. got good low end, so I mean, you don't need to downshift and wring out the RPM so much, you know what I mean? Like, in a 4AG, if I was at 3,000 RPM, I would downshift. In this car, you just get on it and you hit boost, and I'm already at 5,000 RPM. So, that's kind of nice. Give this biker some space. And you know what? I like this car because it's quiet and it's smooth. Me being an older gentleman now, I value and appreciate comfort, right? It doesn't need power steering because this car is so light, it turns it very easy. Very easy, right? If you floor a 20 valve at 3,000 RPM, there's no power. I don't know if you've driven a 20 valve, right? There's no power. There's no low end. You really get the thing to sing around 6,000 RPM and up.
Yeah.
It just opens up. Feels good for what it is. There's no clunks, smooth turning. The grip is there. I just don't think that the body roll contributes to any confidence. Coilovers will help you contribute to some driver confidence, but overall, I feel like your lap times won't be too different from each other. Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Lee. Where can people find you?
Shift into gear. Shift, letter N, letter or number 2, gear.
I'll put it right here. All right, thanks guys.